We're sitting in Ferris Booth Hall, which did not exist when I went to Columbia, but I went to Columbia in Hamilton College, which is right there, Alexander Hamilton. And I graduated 30 years ago, and I took a vow never to set foot on this campus again during the rest of my life. And I've kept that vow for 30 years, but I broke that vow today. So I feel good about breaking that vow. It's a good day for that. I think if you hold on to something for some anger for 30 years, it's time to let go of it. But I don't see myself walking in and out of that door. I don't know what I was so angry about. I probably got a good education, but I didn't think so. And certainly more poets and publishers and book people have graduated from Columbia than just about every other college put together in this country. The other thing I have to say is what I was just saying about a press like ours being 20 years old, and so the poets that we published who were young and just beginning 20 years ago are now established. We go on publishing them. We attract manuscripts from well-known poets. So how is the younger poet, or say the beginning poet, supposed to be able to have an entree at a place like Unicorn Press that could do a lot for them? The answer is there's no place for a beginning poet in our press, because the well-known poets sort of have precedence. I'd like to reverse that. I think presses like New Directions and City Lights, and to a much lesser extent Unicorn, as they get older and more successful, wealthier, and more powerful in the sense of able to make reputations, should do the reverse of what they do. Instead of then going to a Gary Snyder or a Robert Bly, that's precisely when they should go to a Mr. Nobody or a Miss Nobody, a beginning poet that could use the launching of a named publisher, insofar as we have a name. So I think Unicorn should start publishing first books of poems, the way we did when we first started. Maybe after our 25th anniversary, that's what we'll be doing for the rest of our lives, which will be another, say, 15 years. I figure I've got 20 more years of active publishing in me, being 50 years old this year. The other thing that goes with that, should I continue? The other thing that goes with that is hand setting, hand printing, and hand binding books, which was one of our ideals. We get more successful. We stop doing our books the way we should be doing them. Because when you sell 5,000 copies of a book, you're not going to hand print it. And when your book gets big and fat, you're not going to hand sew it, although we did hand sew that one. You're not going to hand set a book that size, but you'll hand set a little book of poetry. Well, if we start publishing beginning poets, then we'll go back to the hand set, hand print, hand bind, which is an ideal for a small press. Then it seems to me we'll have a perfect small press. The perfect small press is a small press that publishes unknown poets. First of all, it's a publisher that publishes poetry. Poetry of the United States, since we are United States people. Poetry by beginning poets, first books of poems. Poems that have been hand set, hand printed, hand bound, distributed by the maker. Maybe the poet and the maker is one. And the reader too, a poetry reading that comes out of that. And then it's all one. And then you have a perfect small press. That's what I'd like to do just once. I guess that's everything I've got to say.